Hello everyone, today I'm here at Tokyo's Haneda Airport and I'll be spending the next 7.5 hours in Singapore Airlines Premium Economy to Singapore. Make sure to keep on watching to see how I booked this Premium Economy fare for less than economy. Also, don't forget to subscribe because there will be one more flight review coming. Unfortunately, Singapore Airlines Premium Economy does not come with lounge access, but it's almost time for our flight. So let's go.
Hello. Go across the
Okay. Here we are. This is seat 33K in Premium Economy, one of the 4 window seats on this plane. Originally, when I booked my ticket, none of the window seats were open, but I just asked the flight attendant if I could switch to this window seat, and apparently she said the seat was empty, so I'm guessing that someone canceled their flight at the last minute. So pro tip is if you want a window seat in Premium Economy, you really need to book your ticket far out in advance. That being said, I'll see you right after takeoff to go over the seat and the amenities. One last thing before takeoff, they just gave us these hot towels, which is really nice because that's what you also get in business class, so this already feels like an extremely premium experience, hence the name Premium Economy, and now it'll be time for takeoff. Now that we're up in the air, I want to quickly go over the in-flight entertainment. This is the main home screen at in-flight entertainment. On the bottom you can see they have different areas. It's currently open to Spotlight, and then they have My Flight where you can take a look at the flight map, as well as movies, TV, music, and much more. I personally enjoy having the flight map open where you can see all the different flight details since I'm a big aviation geek. They also have a wide selection of movies, including many Hollywood classics, so I think you'll find something for everyone right here. Now that we're up in the air, let me give you a quick seat tour. First, most importantly, is the amount of legroom, and as you can see, if I do stretch my legs out, I am able to touch the seat in front of me. However, I still have plenty of legroom when my heels are just down on the floor. And then, best news of all, we have a nice footrest. So I like to use this footrest just at a pretty comfortable height because it is adjustable, and then rest my feet on this because it does make the Premium Economy experience a lot more comfortable. Off to the left are our seat controls, and as you can see, we do have one more footrest or leg rest below as well. There we go, I got the leg rest to work, and there you can see I can rest my legs while having my feet on a footrest. Now for the back of the seat, first the headrest. I'll be honest, the headrest is just alright. You can lean to the left and lean to the right because you do have the classic wings to come out. However, I have had economy seats to have a little bit more privacy and a little bit more of a headrest area on the sides. But considering this nice and made out of leather, I'm not complaining. And now for the most exciting part, the recline, which is great because I can do this the whole flight except for takeoff and landing since no one is behind me. Oh, that is real nice. I mean, I know this is not a lay-flat business class bed, but that is some of the most recline I've ever had in Premium Economy, which really makes this a lot more comfortable, especially when you can stretch your feet out like this. There was a short delay after takeoff, but now they're coming around with the drink cart, and yes, in Premium Economy, they do not have any pre-flight beverages like they do in business class, but it's not like I usually drink them anyways. One last thing for the seat is you do have an adjustable reading light on the side. Overall, this is a fantastic seat for Premium Economy, plenty of legroom, and the seat is fairly padded as well, so I know I'll be in good hands with Singapore Airlines and I'll definitely be comfortable. Meal service is still around an hour away, and they're serving it around 11:30 or noon Japan time, and this flight took off at 9:15, so there definitely is a break before meal service, but I'm totally alright, so I just thought I would explain how the menu works. So in Premium Economy, they do offer a typical in-flight menu, which is right in the seat back, so let's take a look inside. side. This is the menu for today's lunch. They have a prawn Caesar salad as well as a cold noodle. And then for your main course, you have a choice between the salmon steak or the yu yakiniku. For dessert, they have a white chocolate cake or cheese and crackers. That being said, I made sure to take advantage of their Book to Cook service, which is a pre-order meal service that lets you order dishes that are not on the regular menu, and this is available for premium economy, business class, and first class. The way it works is you're able to select your main course through the app around 3 months in advance before your flight, and then up to 24 hours before your flight. On this flight from Tokyo to Singapore, the Book to Cook menu had like 7 or 8 options, which was just amazing. I mean, they had a variety of Singaporean dishes as well as Western dishes and a few Japanese dishes, so I decided to get one of the Japanese dishes. I ordered the Japanese shogiyaki, which is a pork and ginger sauce, and I can't wait to dig into that. In premium economy, it's worth noting that they do offer amenity kits, however they are only available on request. So let's go see what's inside that amenity kit. This is the amenity kit in premium economy. It is made out of paper, but it does feel like a pretty high quality paper, so I do think you could reuse it a couple of times. Whoa, okay, I didn't notice that at first. It is stitched, so this definitely is meant to last a little bit of time, so I am impressed by the quality of this bag in premium economy. Inside we have some of these very thin slippers, which I think is pretty typical for premium economy, so you can't really complain with that. There's also a light sleep mask, which is a must for a plane. Finally, there's lip balm, which is a must to keep your lips nice and moist from the dry airplane air. Now let's go over the amenities that were already at my seat. At the seat, they had this nice large orange pillow waiting for me. Here's the size comparison to my hand. Oh, and that is so nice and fluffy. That is great for premium economy. And in case you get cold, they have a blanket wrapped up in this bag to keep it nice and clean. I probably won't be needing a blanket for this flight, especially since I'm not planning to sleep. However, on my flight from Los Angeles to Tokyo just around a week ago, it did get pretty chilly, so you never know when the blanket might come in really handy. You also get a pair of noise-canceling headphones, which is quite nice. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with all the amenities you get in premium economy here on Singapore Airlines. It's basically everything expected, however, the pillow is a little bit nicer than I was expecting. It's finally time for a meal service, which was delayed for about 40 minutes due to some significant turbulence along the way, so I'm honestly impressed and just very thankful that the flight attendants were even able to heat up and prepare the meals. All of the food comes out in one tray in premium economy, and I'm honestly okay with that because I would be kind of stressed out right now if I was in business class trying to eat all the different many courses in case there's a little bit more turbulence, so I gotta hurry up and eat this quick. I think it's also worth mentioning that you get metal utensils as well as a cloth napkin, which makes it feel a little bit more premium. However, I'm going to start off with our salad. Oh, that's actually a pretty tasty Caesar salad. What really stands out to me is the freshness and crispness of the lettuce. It definitely is at the same lettuce quality as I had in business class, which I am impressed with. So it doesn't taste frozen or gross at all. It just tastes very clean and fresh. And the dressing itself also tastes a little bit different than your typical Caesar salad dressing. This is a lot more smoky, which I think adds a lot more flavor, especially when you're up in the air. Next, we have the Japanese somen noodle salad that's topped off with okra. Oh, that is delicious. That does not disappoint. That is a classic light Japanese somen noodle salad. The noodles have a light, tender chew, and then you just got a slightly savory soy broth. And I'm telling you, the noodle quality is really, really solid, especially considering that it's premium economy plain food. For my mom's main dish, she ordered a Japanese beef curry made with Japanese beef, and she said that I could have a taste of that as well. Oh, that is surprising. That definitely tastes like an earthy, rich, and savory Japanese curry. And they're using a very high quality beef. This is extremely fatty and tender. It just tastes like it's been stewed for hours. And honestly, this just tastes like a really warm and comforting Japanese comfort food meal. Now for my main dish, which is the pork and ginger sauce, and it also looks like it comes with a few vegetables and some seasoned rice. Let's go for a taste of our pork now. It looks like a thin pork chop just covered in a sweet gravy sauce. Oh, that is exactly what I thought it was. That is a thin, fatty cut of pork chop, so it really retains all of its juiciness, and you got a thick, brown gravy sauce. And I like that it's not overly salted or overly heavy. It just has a light soy sauce flavor and a little bit of a light ginger flavor, and it's not spicy at all. Next, for a bite of flavored rice. That tastes like a very healthy and mild rice. It just tastes like there's a little bit of chopped up bamboo shoots, as well as a little bit of edamame soybeans, so that's quite nice. So it's very mild, and it just kind of goes with the sauce and the meat, nothing to overpower the dish. Finally, dessert is some sort of citrus white chocolate cake. Oh, that is delicious. It's a light, fluffy white cake with a very mild hint of citrus flavor, and then you got layers of thick pastry cream in there for a bit of extra sweetness, and then on the side you have a little bit of Japanese yuzu citrus jam just for a hit of juicy, aromatic citrus flavor. That cake 100% tastes like something you got from your local neighborhood bakery. Overall, this felt very much more like a home-cooked quality meal than something you would eat on an airplane. I think it's safe to say this is definitely an upgrade from economy. I mean, I love the presentation because you have real dishes, and I just think the quality of the food and a variety of food is a lot better than what you would get in economy. I mean, the reason I think Singapore Airlines Premium Economy is special is because you get your own separate meal in Premium Economy, because a lot of airlines just serve regular economy food in Premium Economy, so this is a huge upgrade. It's only around 2 hours later, and now we're beginning our descent into Singapore, so I'll give you my final thoughts on the flight as well as how I booked this ticket once we're on the ground. Now that I'm back from my trip and from my flight, I want to first tell you how I was able to book this flight for ridiculously cheap and cheaper than economy even. I booked this flight using 37,500 KrisFlyer miles, and now let me explain how I did that. It was actually pretty easy. I just transferred 38,000 miles from the Capital One Venture Rewards card, which is a partner with Singapore Airlines, and those points were transferred and turned into Singapore Airlines miles, and that transfer basically just happened instantly. And then just around 5 months out from the departure date is when I made the points transfer, and then on the same day I was able to book and reserve my seat. And like I said earlier, there's only 4 window seats in the premium economy cabin, so if you really do want a window seat, I would recommend booking way earlier than that, like maybe 8 months or even 10 months out, to try and guarantee one of those rare 4 window seats, if you care about window seats, that is. And now for my final thoughts on a premium economy experience. First off, the airport experience. Well, the airport experience in premium economy isn't a whole lot different than economy. I mean, you do have a separate line for the baggage drop counter with premium economy. However, for me, that isn't really a big factor since I like to get to the airport super early, so there's never really a line for any of the baggage counters. Now for the flight itself, I mean, the seat was fantastic. It was definitely the most comfortable premium economy seat I've ever had. I mean, the legroom was fantastic. I loved the leg rest and the footrest, which were perfectly positioned, and I also thought that the headrest was fairly decent, and the seat was very cushy and soft, and I loved the leather finish. The best part of the seat, however, I'll say, is the recline, which is just ridiculous. I mean, I know it's not laid flat, but it's definitely the most recline I've ever had in premium economy. The food obviously was a big perk for me since I'm a big foodie, and I thought that the book to cook service made the experience in premium economy all the more premium, shall we say. And finally, the service was outstanding, and this is probably some of the best premium economy service I've ever gotten from the entire flight crew. I mean, I'll say this is the first time that I've flown premium economy where the flight attendants actually greet every single passenger by name, which I thought was very impressive, because that's something you usually only get in business class and or first class. The flight attendants are also so friendly and welcoming, and they'll do their best to take care of you on the flight. Now you might be wondering if I thought this flight was worth it, and yes, I would say absolutely. If you're booking with points, I think premium economy is the way to go if you're flying on this route from Tokyo to Singapore. The reason being is I feel like for economy, you might as well just pay out of pocket and not spend your points on economy, since there's actually not that much less points than premium economy, and for business class, I don't really think it's worth it actually to spend your points on business class for this short of a flight, because it only ended up being just around 7 hours of flight time or so. So in my opinion, I feel like you get the most bang for your buck when you book premium economy using miles. Now I think if you're booking with money and cash, I think it might be a little bit different depending on your case on whether it's worth it or not. I mean, for me personally, I do think I would still book premium economy if I was paying with cash, because obviously there was just so much legroom and it was a very comfortable experience, and it is a little bit of luxury compared to business class, which is just way too expensive for that length of a flight. Because honestly, in my opinion, even if you're a regular business class traveler and you do a lot of long hauls in business class, I think for a 7-hour flight, you're actually going to be fairly comfortable in Singapore Airlines premium economy, because the food is decent, the seat is pretty solid, and honestly, you could just still save a little bit of money and then put that towards the rest of your trip once you're actually in Singapore. That being said, I really hope you all enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Make sure if you did to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you for my first video in Singapore.